Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Monique J. Let's Be Honest show. So, if you see the title of this, let's make sure you see the title of this actual live. I want to make sure I am live. Okay, I am. If you see the title of this live, I am going to first start off by saying, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you are on my YouTube so that you can be alerted to the next time that or when I do videos. I love to have meaningful conversation is the first thing I'm going to say. Of course, with this election coming up, everybody, we've had, I think, the Democratic convention, and then now they're doing the Republican convention, and everybody is just up in arms with what's going to happen next. I'm trying to see this piece of hair. What's going to happen next in this country in the next 4 years or whatever. So I have a lot of conversations with friends, and you be on your social media, and of course, people are just so firm in their beliefs and what they think and how they feel. And I will first say this. My views are my views. And I honestly believe that everyone, by us being different individuals, if you've watched any videos on my channel, if you've watched any videos that I've done, if you've seen me speaking and coaching, I always say that we are all different. If we were created the same, what a boring world and a boring place this would be. And by us being different, that means we're going to have different thoughts, different points of view. And those points of views and thoughts are right and correct for us. They're not right and correct for everybody else. So if anybody does not agree with your opinion or your views or your thoughts, it does not make them wrong. It makes them having a mind of their own. And I think that if people would respect other people's opinions and truly understand that, it would probably be a lot less arguments amongst friends, family, and all of that. Now, there could be debates, and there can be great debates, meaningful debates. I think debating is good. And as long as you're willing to respect another person's opinion, I think that we can learn from other points of view and things like that. So I just wanted to say that because I titled this, What I'm Black, but I'm not a Democrat. So what am I? And then, of course, the title of this show is the Let's Be Honest show on my YouTube channel. I'm streaming on my YouTube, I'm streaming on my Facebook, and I'm streaming on my Periscope right now. So, okay, so I'm sure I'm going to first just say this. I grew up in the inner city, south side of Chicago, which is a Democratic ran state and definitely a Democrat ran city. And I am a child of the 70s. And so most instances, most of us, and I think I watched someone else's YouTube before, and they were asking the people who were on the panel, like, basically, were they Democrats because that's really all you heard in your Black family, in your Black household, especially if you didn't grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth. And most of the people raised their hand that was the reason why they kind of just have always been Democrat. And then, and I'll be honest, that's kind of really been my reason as well. I really, over the, up until probably maybe 10, 15 years ago, really didn't get into at all really about politics. I really wasn't researching too much in regards to politics. Things that affected my community, people who were involved in my community, the aldermans and things like that. I, got to know, understood what they were, the mayor and things like that. But as far as on a state level with congressmen and senators, and even on the federal level as well, I really didn't, didn't pay attention too much. And so now, though, of course, when you grow up, as you grow older, you get wiser. And so you start actually, instead of just kind of going with the flow, and definitely if you have any comments, I'm trying to see. Okay, I think I can put my chat on here. Okay, yeah. So if you have any comments, or if you want to ask any questions or give your opinion, definitely do that on either of the platforms that I'm on. And definitely if you have any comments. Hold on one second. Don't want, okay. Either of the platforms I'm on. If you're on my Facebook, I'm gonna have to figure out how to see your comment without with muting the sound as well. So, anywho, so definitely do that. But anyway, I think we all just kind of just went with the flow, because most of us, like I said, we've been crawling our way up, from the bottom to the top. Working our way, myself, like I've always stated, I grew up pretty, impoverished area and not really rich, not nowhere near rich, pretty poor. But I technically, I worked my way through high school, went to college, and, I've since then completed several different degrees and things like that. And so, of course, I believe in, working hard. And I believe that everybody has these opportunity. We just may not come across the same people, come across people who are trying to push us in different directions. And that is very true, of course, but for people growing up in inner cities and things like that. So all I really knew about and what was pushed to those of us in my area were programs. And it wasn't a lot of programs that were teaching us how to become, business owners, get into trades, hobbies, and how we could possibly turn our hobbies into entrepreneurialism, pushing education a lot. I mean, there were those programs and they were few and far between, but there were more so programs. Most of what we heard about and what we shared were things that were going to allow us to either get, free electricity, free heat, get us, what else? Food, all the things that we needed in those times, and of course we needed them. Everybody was struggling, and so I'm grateful for those programs. I just now, as an adult, I really wish that there was like a equal percentage of programs teaching us how to get ourselves out of the condition that we were in, as opposed to just teaching us how to survive in that condition. I think, and I, so once I kind of got older, and I'm gonna just say this, I'm being honest, it's my opinion. I don't expect everybody to agree with me on it. Of course, I said it earlier, of course, as you grow older, you just experience different things, or whatever. So, and I've said now, of course, if you've watched my video, that I no longer live in Chicago anymore. I haven't lived there for about 12 years now. So anyway, so as you get older, and you work harder, and you work hard to try to give yourself a better life. If you have children, you want to give your children a better life. Most parents, that is what their ultimate goal is. They do what they do in their life so that they can, hopefully provide and put their children in a position to where they can have a better life. And so with that being said, now fast forward to being about to turn 50 years old. Shout out to the Virgos. And just kind of experiencing, not kind of experiencing so many things in my life, from health issues, from, issues dealing with, racism and school and opportunities and not getting opportunities, and just a lot of things that I have dealt with in life. It made me, for one, become a little bit more aware of what roles people played in creating things for those in the lower income communities, those in the middle class communities, and those in the upper class communities. It made me pay attention to what the difference was. I'm an accountant, so of course I made sure that I began to learn about tax laws, about finances, about ways in which things that we hadn't been taught and that I hadn't been taught, growing up, how I could learn about those things so that I could then do what I wish I would have had growing up in the inner city, in Chicago. So I started making me really look at the different parties, and then of course, growing up in a state that's ran by Democrats, I really, looked at the condition of just where I grew up, where it's at now, where it was then, where it's been through this time. And then I started really thinking, like, I don't really like them like that. I don't really think they really been, because nothing has really gotten really, has improved in my community that I grew up in and where a lot of my friends and family are still at. Now, yes, has that city improved in the other areas? Yeah. But we all have been rolling, rolling with you all. And I really, I get frustrated. I don't live there anymore. I was getting frustrated. They charging my friends and stuff to park on their own street now and to take out the trash and pick up their trash, just things that never used to be charged for. And it's the same people. And I'm like, well, why? And they still got potholes and they still, and one of the biggest crime rates and just all. So I'm just like, I ain't really feeling. Now that I know better and now that I know to look into, and they've been, we just been rolling with them, because they speak to our needy side. And so I'm like, but they ain't really, in my mind, y'all ain't really doing nothing for us. You keep saying it, but I don't really see, things getting better. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm rolling with them. Then you look at the other side. And I don't think that they really understand a lot of those, people. And of course, if you understand history, originally, Democrats were the ones wanting to keep slavery in, and the Republicans were the ones who wanted to abolish and actually abolish slavery. Over some periods of time from that, it kind of switched, and people felt and that now the Democratic Party was becoming a little bit more for the people and for blacks. Actually, it's interesting. I learned something today that one of the major Republican groups that, of course, now is really all white was actually, it looks like the Republican National, something like that. But it was actually started by blacks, and it was a black group, a black Republican group. It's just over the years as things kind of switched. um Black people started feeling like, well, this party, because they're, offering and seeming to listen and care about, the lower income and middle class people, this is where we want to go. Okay, but then the Republicans, on the other hand, now, they're considered to be looked at as those that are wealthy. And most people look at it, especially me growing up, we kind of just said, well, they rich. They don't, they don't know nothing about us, isn't that? And it's, of course, I think a lot more of them are probably wealthy, but there are a lot of wealthy people who consider themselves Democrat as well. But I do think that they're just more, the party in itself is more, and about its conservative views about a lot of things that, of course, with Democrats, they're considered more liberal and, just believe, especially when it comes to like women, that women, we have a right to choose and do what we want to do with our own bodies. Um, you know, Regards to they're more, just strictly pro-American, like hence the Make America Great Again saying and all that. And, not really concerned too much about immigrants and illegal immigrants is what I'm going to say. People who they feel are not free, shouldn't be here or aren't here legally and things like that. And plus a lot of other stuff. But the one thing that they, and if you go to, like, now I currently live in a Republican state. If you go to Republican ran states, what you will see is, because they are, I guess a lot of them are in the upper 2%. and they believe in business and growth and economics and, you know, capitalism, of course, as people say. You go to those states, you'll see that a lot of times the economy is better. And I think I'm not sure why. Really, like what they do different outside of, I'm not really sure, so I can't even really say. But I do know that the economy is better. If you go, there's a lot more jobs. There's a lot more opportunity, which hence the reason why there are a lot of people that I know that are relocating to areas like in states like Texas, because you literally, if you move to Texas, you probably, if you diligently looking and you're willing to take any job, you won't be here more than 70 to 96 hours max without a job if you really want a job. And I can say, you know, if I was back in my state in my city that I grew up in, you know, it's jobs are low. There's not a lot, and a lot of it has to do with a lot of, you know, companies and stuff are moving out of that city and out of that state. A lot of corporations are looking to be places where they don't have state taxes, and of course, in Texas, you don't have state taxes. You're not even taxed on the corporation income until you make over a huge amount in regards to franchise taxes. And of course, in states like Illinois and states that tax, it doesn't matter. They're going to tax you every year, regardless. So a lot of things, of course, are in regards to money. But then I don't agree with thinking that you can tell a woman that if she, you know, was raped or whatever the case may be, that she shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion. I don't agree that you should be able to tell anybody. Like right now, that's why I'm losing it in regards to this whole pandemic stuff and not being able to kind of do what I want and this and that, because I just think, should we free? This is supposed to be a free country. We should be able to do what we want. And let me see if I can, hold on. And this and that, because I just think, should we free? This supposed to be a free country. Hold on, I'm gonna turn that down. Okay. So I wanted to make this video because I think I have a friend of mine too. She has been debating with the people on her Facebook about what she believes and who she thinks she's probably not going to vote for in regards to the presidency. And you know, and then how, you know, as black people, we kind of just roll, and we, you know, we go with sound bites, or we go with, you know what, forget that, I'd rather this than this. And you know, I actually was watching something there about that, and they were saying about choosing the lesser of two evils. We kind of, you know, we decide what the two evils are, and we choose the lesser of it, or we choose who looks like us, or we choose who seem to sound like they gonna do something for us. And a lot of times we don't really, we you know, from what my experience, we dislike whoever so much, for whatever the one or two reasons that we dislike the people, or maybe 10, 20, I don't know, that we allow ourselves to kind of get so emotionally invested in things that we may not always sit down and think logically about. For one, find out exactly what's been going on, facts, and not just what, you know, because these media outlets and news and stuff, they give us based on what their agendas are. So I always tell people, you know, to kind of, you know, research for yourself, regardless of who it is or what it is. Research for yourself and then make the best decision, I say, for you. And if it's the best decision for you, it's probably going to be best for the people that you care about. Um, in the long run, they may not see it. They may not get it because they may not be in the space that you're in right now. But that's kind of my take on things. So like I said, I titled this video, what am I? And I have coined, actually, I see my friend Brandy on here. I have coined a saying that I'm a Republican. There ain't no such thing. So I guess I was watching something today, because that is something I do. I study. I don't like to really talk or do videos or do anything without making a knowledgeable decision based on what I've learned, which is also why a lot of, why people trust my word. I coach people, I teach people, because they know most times if I'm saying something, it's because I have done my research. I'm a Virgo. We researchers, and analytical. So I've done my research, and I have a good reason for why I decide to do what I decide to do. I don't try to impose my opinion or my views on anybody, but I do like to give people information that they may not have so that they can make educated decisions. Because being Black in America and being descendants of, uh, okay, being descendants of slaves, um, we have been and always have been on the bottom of the totem pole in this country. And I truly believe that people think you can give us some little crumbs or say a few little things, make, depending on who they trying to attract, and just tell us something and promise us stuff. And then, what are we going to do? I mean, look at even the status of this country now, even just with police brutality and things like that. What are we going to do? March, cry, complain, fuss, but they're going to still end up, kind of tricking us, so, I truly believe that most places and most people, these people, these politicians and all this stuff, that's what they do. And that's why they're politicians. That's why politics is not for everybody. I mean, they all tell lies. They all pander. Um, hey, Gail, they all, do the same stuff. I'm just keeping it real. So at that point, you really have to just kind of weigh out pros, cons. How much good did this set of people do? How much good did this set of people do? How much facts, actual, what did they do? Not what did they say they was gonna do, but what they actually did. What actually was done, that even though I don't like everything that they say, and even though I don't like everything that they do, and even though I know they possibly may be a little racist, but I'm always honest saying I'm a little racist. I think that anybody who loves their culture, you're going to love your culture and your race more than you love somebody else's. Why wouldn't you? You. But and so the way that people judge being racist, I think they judge that as being racist because you love your race more than you love another race. I mean, I think that would be common sense. If y'all anything and you watching, you tell me if you don't agree with that. But I think that would be common sense. What I do also believe though is that even though I may love my race more than somebody else's, I am not going to mistreat these other races. I'm going to treat these people fairly. And I think that that's what most people, and I think that's what everybody should do. Now, do we know that they don't do that? Because some people of some races think that they're actually better than other races and other cultures. And then I think that's not racism. I think that's supremacy. And it ain't at this point just white supremacy. You have some of these people who are coming and choosing to come over here from other countries who think they're more supreme and over blacks and black Americans. So, and will look down on you and treat you like you're trash because they have seen nothing but the news and heard the history and the views that has been shown of us across the world. So I think that to think that somebody who is not of your culture they should be fair, but are they going to think that you better than them? Um, Probably not, because I don't think nobody better than us is black people. I love being black. I think it's the dopest. I think we have so many wonderful qualities about ourselves that, of course, as you see now, most other races and cultures want it, which is why we have these cultural appropriation and everybody want to look like us, be like us, sing like us, rap like us, dance like us, but they just don't want to live the black plight. So I think, for me, it's just really about, I wish we would realize like how dope we were. And for one, start with our children, our grandchildren, our neighbors, the students we teach, whatever. I really wish that we would go back to, I wish we would go back to it being okay for the village to help be a part of children's upbringing, being okay for Miss Such and Such to see him hanging off that tree and say, "Get your butt down off that doggone tree." And have you done your school? And just being involved. I am a child and product of a village, of a bunch of people pouring into me. And I know each and every individual person that cared enough about me to make sure that I didn't totally go off on the wrong path. Cause I didn't have my day. I'm just telling you, if you know me and you're watching this and you know me a long time, I was something else. And the reason why I didn't totally go off, for one, because I had a mama that was probably not having it, but a lot of times she wasn't aware of what I was doing. And so there were other people who saw what I was doing, saw what I was getting involved in, knew I had what my potential was, and they would not let me totally be screwed up and be messing up. And unfortunately, when you're growing up and your parents, especially the single parent, and they have to work a lot and you're at home by yourself a lot, and you're kind of in at times seeming like you're raising yourself, you can, if you don't have other people, you can go on the wrong track. And I think that the status of our communities now is proof of that. So I just really, I mean, I went on something else, but I just wanted to talk about the politics and kind of bring up these parties, because of course we're getting closer to election time, and I'm hoping that I'm not trying to tell nobody where to vote and how to vote, because that would be dumb, and I can't. Ain't nobody gonna steer me wrong. Change my point of view if whatever it is that I decide to do. But I do know that I have, I'm studying, I'm researching, I listen to, because I have to learn more and learn facts. And then whatever decision I make, I'm going to make it based on factual stuff, not too much emotions, and just based on what I think, will be best moving forward for myself and really for my community. And I don't. I believe that we would be so much greater, if the majority of us, first of all, saw what we were capable of and were willing to uh, do whatever we needed to do to get, and whatever we needed to do legal, to get the things and the success that we deserve in life, and the peace of mind that we deserve in life, the nice things, everything that we deserve in life. I believe that we just, there are people that don't push to us that that's possible, and what we can do and what we can have. And so I just say that I just kind of want to come. So you're speaking. I got these T-shirts. This, of course, is says Code Pink Productions. I don't know if you guys can see it, but let's see. Yeah, Code Pink Productions. This is the nonprofit that I am founder of. But I have some T-shirts on the Monique J website, which is MoniqueJ.com, that says Free Thinker. I sell those Free Thinker T-shirts because I consider myself, and I know a lot of people who, I think everybody probably feels they're free thinkers. But what I mean by that is that I think for myself. I don't allow um, pandering. I don't allow empty promises, and I call them empty because they have never been received. And I don't allow what do the majority to direct what I decide to do in my life. And that's not just in politics. That's just period in my life. I mean, and because I have people all the time, you know, criticizing, commenting, trying to tell me things about what I should, how I should do, what I should do, what I should look like, what I should act like, what my child should do, just so many things. And so I think freely. I have no one else to answer to but God. And I consult him daily before I do anything. And so he told me to be a free thinker and to only listen to him. So I think that there are tons of people out here that are the same way. So that's why I made the t-shirt. So that, hey, we can let it be known that nobody is running us but the Lord. No, just kidding. So I hope this video, I want to say, gave people some information in regards to kind of learning stuff for yourself, getting facts about things, and really analyzing what has been going on in your life and in your surroundings over the years, and what people have said and what people have actually done and what is improved and what hasn't, and then do what's best for you and your family, and truthfully, do what's best. And what's best is not, well, for me, in my mind, what's best for me and my family is not to be in a begging position all of the time and to take the crumbs that fall off the table. And so that's for me. So I hope that I said something that sparked some thought today. I was hoping I was going to get some comments or some questions or whatever, but I thank everybody who joined and who watched. And I am officially starting, we're going to do a new party called the Republicrats, because I think if we all thought about it, we agree with things on both sides. But I think that's what they call, that's what the independent party is, right? You independent. You think it would need to be called the free thinking party. And it's funny, I have to tell the story real quick, because I remember I went to vote, and here is, because what's interesting is I vote, I don't care, I don't be knowing what's going on, what we voting for, but I do know my ancestors have fought blood, sweat, and died for the right to vote. So when I see the vote sign out in the yard, I just pull up to vote. I be like, what we vote for? We vote for who gonna buy the tissue this week or whatever. I don't care. I just go in and vote. But whatever it was, it might have been the it might have been one of the presidential elections. I don't know. And so when I walked in, the lady just immediately was like giving me the instructions on where to go to do for the Democrat line. And I was like, ma'am, I ain't told you I'm no Democrat. And it was just ironic because, that's crazy. And that's the thing, too, that kind of bothers me, which is why I don't just go with the flow. Because how people just assuming that all black people, Democrats, and if people think that, then I think they think that, which means they just think no matter what, even though you may not be doing too much of what you said you was going to do, we just going to vote for you. And I ain't with that. Well, like I said, I'm a free thing. I don't do nothing that you just assume I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, I might still vote for your butt. But it ain't going to be because you just assume. It's going to be because it's what's best for me, my family, and my community. And those people that I care about. Okay? But however, I just thought that was funny. Again, if you have not, I'm going to play a quick commercial really quick. Y'all see, I'm doing good with this. Let me see if I can do it. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's see. I don't think I can do it. Wait. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I want to play another little commercial really quick. This is, of course, from our sponsors. The sponsors on the screen. Here is the commercial. Go on, me. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Hey, y'all, think I'm learning. I'm learning my little stuff. All right, so definitely, of course, you know I am one of the owner of 66cbd.com Incorporated, as well as you see on the screen, Lay Beauty. I am a part owner of that, which is LAYEBEAUTY, laybeauty.com. And of course, Monique J, CEO, MoniqueJ.com. That's brought to you by that. And we're always funding and supporting Code Pink Productions Inc. So, again, thank you guys, everybody. If you watch this later, please comment. Please be respectful with your comments. I understand everybody has a different point of view. I just say I respect you. You respect me. You respect the people who comment in my comment area. We're going to be good. Because if you become disrespectful, you will be blocked and your comment will be deleted. Okay. You get more bees with honey than vinegar. So all you got to do is choose how you say things and say them in a way in which people can receive them in peace and not in anger. All right. So that leads me to saying, make sure that you guys remain in peace and not in pieces. And God bless you all. Stay safe. And make sure you subscribe and share if you think this video was something that you will want to share. All right. Have a great day. And this has been Monique J on the Let's Be Honest Show. Bye.